Hey, Paper Guy here, back with another replay review. This time we have Night Stalker 12 once again. Dude loves to do some reviews. I love to help him out. I always talk up his improvement, which is quite high. And it's cool seeing him get a little bit higher rank every few weeks, man. So he's playing Japanese against English, which is admittedly a tough matchup. It's more one where you need to, if you can survive, it's pretty good for you as Japan against the English, especially whenever I play Japan against English. I feel like it's almost, can I survive to Imp? If I can get to Imp, then actually my Imp's pretty good against English. But getting there can be hard. So he specifically wanted me to look at this replay because he actually faced a Dark Age Rush and he just wants to know what he should do in that instance. So we're going to talk about that, as well as the rest of the game. But he just felt like the Dark Age Rush really threw him off. So English is one of those civs that will Dark Age Rush you at times. If I was to list the civs that you're going to see this most likely, it's going to be Mongols, of course, and then English is really up there. No, I'd say third place is HRE, though they're much more situational, really against civs that they feel like they need to slow them down. Like I know HRE will Tower Rush or Dark Age Rush like Night Civs to slow them down. But that's kind of the top three. So it's something you should be a little bit more on the lookout for, and if you're on a smaller map like this especially, it's worthwhile to kind of do a buzz around the base just to see, because the key is they will drop that barracks immediately, and if you see that, you can do one of two things. If you see the barracks early, one, you can pull basically like all your villagers, 2 gold, and try to quick gather. And what I would have done then is I would have canceled Tawara to get that 50 gold back, and then I would just mass sent all my units to gold, and then quickly gathered the gold needed. The other thing you could have done is basically quick cut 1 round of tree. You need like 2 rounds. So take 5 villagers and do 2 rounds of woodcut gathering, drop a tower, and then do your gold mine. And so their men at arms will show up and they'll try to stop you from finishing the tower. But if you send 5 vills to build the tower, you basically micro them away as they get hurt. And then when you get it up, he has to run away. I mean, he can stay under it, but eventually the tower will kill him. So that's like if you scout it early. What you can scout it early is either commit to getting the gold as quickly as possible before he shows up, and then if he shows up and you're still gathering, you can basically send the vills back as they get hurt, and you should be able to get 200, which is just like 10 rounds of gather. So if you cancel Tawara, you just send 5 villagers out, and then you do 2 rounds, and boom, you have the 200 gold to age up. And once you age up, you can do horsemen or sneak out to another gold. But let's say you don't see it, like you're gonna happen here. So you're doing your normal opening. Tawara is a very normal opening. Then you go berries. Gathering gold like normal. What really sucks in this instance is that your stone... Oh, it's right here. Okay, you can see it. We'll talk about what you can do with that in a second. Boom, you actually see the barracks right there. So you actually expect it, and here he comes. So what do? You're not quite there. You notice if you hadn't done Tawara, you actually would have been there, hypothetically. But, so he shows up. And now you have a question. So, what can you do now? You have a few options. One is you can mass send basically most of your villagers to do 1 round of gold gathering, in which he will beat you up with his men-at-arms. And that will suck, but you just, once again, you pull villagers as they're getting hurt to drop off at the town center, and then you'll get enough to age up. Other option, especially on a map like Cliffside, which has so many golds spread across the map, he can't cover all of these. And so what you do is you immediately scout where the next gold is, and he's sending a second man at arms, which is a pretty big investment for him, actually. If you think about it, he has spent 240 resources plus the 150 for the barracks. So that's a lot of resources he has spent to try to slow you down. Which is why a lot of people like to do the quick gather, because you're not wanting to over invest, which makes his investment better. Like the more you do extra, the more his investment is paid off. So you could just send a whole bunch to do one round of gathering. You should be able to get the 200 to age up. And if you micro well, you won't lose any villagers. The other option is you'll need to gather 1 round of wood to be able to afford another forge. And basically what you can do is, once again, you'd pull, like, since you already have the food to age up, you can basically just leave 4 on food, and you can pull all the rest to start cutting wood. And since you're Japan and you have samurai, you could hypothetically drop a barracks to make samurai, but that's going to be slow. and you will be behind. Though, did he make a third man-at-arms? No, he didn't. Okay, I thought he did for a second. But he does have 2 men-at-arms coming, and he's basically, he knows where your next gold is. So 1, he's going to push you off the berries, right? Because he can tank a few hits off the berries. But 2, he's going to go check this next gold, but he can't check them all, right? Like, he can't be everywhere. And if you run to a different gold, his men-at-arms are slow, so he'll have to follow. So what you can do basically is quick chop enough wood to get another forge. And you can even quick chop and get a forge and a tower, and you run to the next gold, which would be like down here. You drop a tower, a forge, and then you just gather the gold you need. It is slow. It will take time. To make that better, you basically then like gather all the wood you need, open production, and then you start hard gathering food as you're aging up. Then you age up, and then that hopefully you'll then have the wood. Knowing that you're good with samurai, you could just drop barracks as you're aging up, and the second you age up, you're just sending out units to try to take advantage of his slow timing. The key is that you can't freak out. Like, what do you need? You need gold. Where are you gonna find that gold? You're gonna find it somewhere else on this map. There's plenty of gold. But see, right now you're stuck with this idea of, well, I have to get gold here. I have to get gold here. You know, now you could. Once again, you only need 40 gold, 44 gold. So just send, 8 villagers there to do 1 level of gathering. Oh, he's just outside to get this. That really sucks. You could bait him by having a group of villagers here, so he'll lose that. Then arms, he dies anyway. So, I mean, you basically just did what you needed to do. This was the right move right here. He's not even close to aging up. So, like, at this point, you've solved it. Like, you've gone to the gold. He's nowhere near it. He's running around right now. But the second you saw him leave, you could have just sent out another group to this gold. But the key is you would have wanted to get enough for a tower, and you have towered this, so he can't push you off again with another men-at-arms. Okay, so you don't need to age up with 14. Because 1, he hasn't aged up yet. He has made 2, he's now made a 3rd men-at-arms, so there's no way he's aged up, like there isn't. And rushing this age up isn't going to do you any good if you don't have any wood. Once again, this is an overreaction. This is you going, oh fuck, and just like doing way too much on this age up. You don't need to do that. Instead, just put 5, 4, and focus instead getting the resources, so when you enter feudal, you can quickly take advantage of this, which is immediately dropping a barracks and just mass producing samurai instantly. And if you can push him back and then run into his base, you could do damage before he gets out units to defend. And if you could quickly get iron undermeshes are aging up, so your samurai can really just tank and ruin his eco, that's a move right there. You could rush castle if you really wanted to, but doing a 14 on this, like, you're not behind. He hasn't started his age up, or if he has, but like, he's rushing his age up. So you could have hypothetically just done 4 on your age up and gotten a lot of resources. Now, look what just happened. You've aged up and you have no way, you can't do anything. You have a bunch of food, but no other resources. Which, it makes it feel like you're rushing castle. Which, I run rush castle. Usually, people who do this sort of like all-in style here at Dark Age, they're going to do council hall. And that means you need 2 towers on this, and even then, like, since this is so open, he could send longbows back here and still mess with you. So it's like, this is way too exposed for this opening he's doing. But if you had been building units from the start, you could have overwhelmed him by now. Like, your eco's better than him, like, at this point. If you had been investing units instantly, you'd be in a really good spot. He just started making longbows. Like, he has, what? 6 units. And you could have, you see what not having a tower there, like, that's why you needed a tower until you can make units. But if you'd maybe making units at this point, if you had done a slower age up, dropped barracks, and started making samurai as you're aging up, you could be fighting him with multiple samurai, and your samurai better his men-at-arms in feudal, much better. You get way more damage upgrades, and you can get a bannerman, and you can beat him. And then if you've already massed samurai by the time he comes into a longbow, he's basically screwed, because like, he needs a lot of longbows to be able to do damage against samurai if you have a bunch of them. So if you were already showing up with like 6 samurai, you'd be destroying this outpost, pushing him back, and then rushing at him. And then you could rush castle. Like, with that massive samurai, you force him back into his base. You could then at that point rush castle, or you could just go all in on him. But the thought process is like, you have to remember, when people do Dark Age rushes, they're investing a lot more than probably you are, which makes them behind. Which if you can then play smart, get things up like towers that buy you time and position, get a production, age up in a reasonable manner. Like you could have been scouting him to see if he was aging up, to know if what he was doing. Even if you didn't age, even if you didn't scout him, you just know he's like way behind, especially as he keeps making men at arms. And just play this by all intents and purposes smart. Just getting the goal, getting safe, making units. I think you'd have been fine. But like this, like panic dropping this tower and stuff like that is not going to do anything for you because he already has longbows here. Like you need 2 towers to save a gold when there's longbows. This is just a waste of resources. Like watch, you get this up. Are your samurai upgraded? Your samurai haven't upgraded. So like your samurai, you wasted your gold on things that would have been great for a samurai upgrade. And once again, like this has probably happened because you're having so many things happen to you and you're confused, but look at your resources. He is just investing in units immediately. If you've been investing in units the second you aged up, look how much food you have. You can just protect this gold, and then you just have a mass samurai and you're beating him to that, and then you're pushing him back because he's just getting longbows out. But you notice like this tower doesn't do anything. Any moment, he can just bring longbows up and shoot these guys off the gold. Now it's like you can't even rush castle, and then you also can't make samurai because you lost gold completely. Once again, this happens, you can always try to sneak out, like just try to sneak out to a gold. He's watching this one, and you could have been on this one, but at this point now it's over because he's gonna get too many units and kick you off resources, and you're just kind of done. Unless you made mass horsemen. Like you have the wood and the food, you could have dropped like 2 stables and started making horsemen, but now you're pushing out too early. You don't have the units. Like you can see how many units he has. Now you're dropping the stables late and you're dropping in the open. You know what I mean? Like if he has longbows, you have to drop production safe, like near your TC early on, and use the resources you have. So the stable is the right move intrinsically. Because look, he's only pushed you off. He has 1 unit on this gold over here. He's only on this one. So if you had dropped 2 stables and just immediately pushed him off this gold and then drop 2 towers, then you can start getting gold. Once you start getting gold, you can then start massing men at arms and do men at arms horsemen or samurai horsemen, which is a really good combo. You're not using your resources though. You've now you're dropping these, but these are many minutes late. Do not rally this far forward because his longbows are just going to tap him. I can't believe he's letting you get gold right now. That's honestly pretty crazy. Okay, now you can take this gold again though. He has no one back here. Use your golds. And look at all this wood you have. You can immediately just drop 2 towers and take this gold back here. It's like pausing, going, okay, what do I need? I need gold. Okay, I have this gold back here. I'm going to tower it, get gold. I'm going to wall. So you can't like run side to side, and then boom, I'm on this gold. I'm good. Sweet. Okay, I have a lot of wood. I'm gonna drop 2 more barracks and start dropping farms around my TC. So I have good eco. And then I'm gonna just mass units and go. But you're not. This isn't. You got to be patient, my man. You have to be patient. You can see how many units he has. Box over this. 8 and 4, 3 and 2. Yes, you have counter units, but just wait for your units to come out. Like you're this game is continuing in patience. Both you're very impatient about what you want to do, but then you have the right idea, but you're not patient enough to let it come to fruition. Like you have 5 villagers sitting in this tower that could be gathering gold over here, and it's because you very much, you're like, I want to push them, I want to fight them. It's like, just wait until you have the defender's advantage. Just wait until you have the resources to fight him. Hell, even while you're waiting, you could run these horsemen around the opposite side and raid his base. Check his gold. You know he's dropping farms. When he dropped these farms so far away from TC, you know he's on wood. Like, as you're waiting to fight here, use the horsemen to raid as you continue to build your unit count. And just know everything behind you is kind of safe right now, as long because he's not leaving this tower area. So you have options here. You could use your units to buy space here. We're pushing again too early. It's too early. You have a lot of wood. You could just drop farms on your TC. You gather stone. Get your TC upgrade. Like, he's actually giving you a lot of space. And he keeps not making a lot of units. But having 5 villagers not gather anything is painful. It's so many villagers. That's so much production. That's so many resources that aren't being gathered right now. It's really, really painful. Think about tower placement. Where's he gonna come from? He's over here. He's gonna come from over here. So you need a tower here and a tower here. But I mean, now we're gonna raid with him. I would have gone the opposite side so he didn't see the raid coming. Now he sees the raid coming. But it's the right call. Also, look. You see that deer are disappearing. So raid the deer. He's right there. Oh man, you gotta A move. You gotta A move them. You tried to what's it called? You clicked on the farm. Oh man. But he started making this because he saw them coming because you went this way. That's why I wanted you to go out this way and around back because he wouldn't have seen it coming. And then the goal at that point is actually not to stick around. The goal is to like raid, force him to bring units back, and then head back to your units. Use your resources, man. You have a lot of wood. Just start dropping farms. It's fine. It's fine if you start dropping farms. You still haven't grabbed gold back here. If you see his scout 2, chase his scout away with like 2 horsemen. Like you don't want his scout chilling there, seeing what you're doing. Okay, no. If you see him dropping a battering ram, you're not dropping a battering ram. And the reason being is because you know he's about to attack you. So you don't want to waste the resources on rams. Instead, you want to be making units. Problem, and I get you have a shit ton of wood, but why? Like, spend the wood then. Spend the wood. Make farms. Do something with the wood. Hell, you could even drop a market and then sell the wood. Why are we attacking? You know he's about to attack you. Once again, we're waiting. Why are we doing this? Why are we throwing units away? So that's my thing. And don't get me wrong, I've done this plenty of times myself. You get so off kilter because the purpose of a dark rage rush is to throw you off your guff. It's to make you throw off the thing you want to do, and then you just keep overreacting again and again and again. You don't need to overreact. Just take a breath. Ask yourself, what do you need? Where can you get it? What can you make with the resources you have? How can you increase your safety? Where can I wall? Where can I tower? How can I increase my safety? And then keep making units. Try to do little raids. And if you're smart about it, you will have a resource lead, and then you can build more units than him and then beat him. But you gotta be patient, and you have to just use your resources and time. As a defender, you have time. Unless he tries to rush castle, which you'll notice if he doesn't have any units, then he's rushing castle. But besides that, like, you had many moments there where you could have taken the momentum in that game. It's either you moved too early, or you didn't take the resources where you could take them, or you didn't get as safe as you could get. That held you back. Or you didn't spend the resources when you had a lot of them. At most, at easiest, you could just drop a market and sell extra resources. But you could have used them into farms, into towers, things like that. I hope that was helpful to you. And let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your games.